What's up, guys? It's been 10 years since my first technology video. Yeah, that's a long time. I've made 241 videos in that time. I mean, it's been kind of crazy. So I thought I'd make a video to kind of commemorate that because it's been, again, 10 years to the day. But also talk about a few other things that you might be interested in, like an upcoming Ryzen 3000 build that'll be doing, including maybe even a new laptop, and kind of just like the future of my channel. So, to start off, like I said, been 10 years, 241 videos. I mean, that first technology video was of a computer I built. I really just kind of took some hardware from downstairs, like some old computers that were in the basement, and kind of just swapped parts a little bit and called it a computer build. And honestly, it's kind of cringeworthy to watch the video because I'm just like a 12-year-old kid and stuff. I was almost 13, and now I'm almost 23. So yeah, there you go. And it's actually kind of funny because I joined YouTube in November of 2008 with my brother to just make some stupid videos with like QuickTime Pro 4 or whatever. They were just really dumb, but we finally started doing technology videos. So I'm glad I stayed that way because it's been kind of cool. It's actually kind of kickstarted a career for me, honestly. So right now I'm at 6,865 subscribers. That number has been tapering off in the past couple of years because I haven't really been making as much content. Fair enough. But hopefully I can maybe get back into it a little bit. I mean, honestly, I don't have a room full of computers anymore to make content on, but I'll do what I can. So as far as what I'm up to in general, like what I'm doing in life, for the two of you that maybe care about that, I'm working at Hasbro in cybersecurity. My job is basically to keep them from getting hacked. Testing out security controls, even pretending to be a hacker a little bit and like breaking stuff and just documenting how to fix it, that kind of thing. Red teaming, they call it in the industry. I live in Massachusetts. I'll be moving in a few days to a new apartment. I'm getting married in October, which is pretty sweet. Up in Vermont, it's going to be awesome. So that's a section about me. Ask whatever you want if you're interested about anything else. So yeah. So as far as this upcoming desktop build goes, I'm going to go ahead and give you some specs on that. So, as most of you of course know, AMD's coming out with a Ryzen 3000 series pretty soon. It looks pretty legit. They're finally beating Intel to the punch because, like, honestly, AMD's kind of been the underdog for a while. If you asked me 5 years ago, I would say that I would not buy an AMD because they just couldn't beat Intel. Their CPUs were just light years behind Intel's, basically. But they're finally catching up, and I'm really keeping my eye on the Ryzen 7 3700X that's coming out. That's an 8-core, 16-thread CPU. Then we see the base clock is 3.6 gigahertz. It looks like it's going to be like in the middle of the price range, which I think is like the perfect price point. Because I think with some of the other Ryzen CPUs, yeah, you can get more CPU cores, but I don't need a ton of cores. So I do care about frequency a little bit because single core performance is kind of important when it comes to playing games. But also, I kind of would use my PC as a workstation as well for like virtualization. Like I like doing penetration testing, hacking kind of stuff, so I might have like, 5 or 6 or 7 VMs running on my machine at once. Like I might have like a server 2016 VM, Kali Linux, Windows workstation VM. So I might have like, at some points I might have even like almost a dozen operating systems running off my computer at the same time. And so because of that, I do want the CPU that has the number of cores that can handle parallel processing. But I think the 3700X is like the perfect balance point between frequency and core count. Because obviously having like a super high core count CPU at a low frequency wouldn't be good for gaming. So there you go. Now thankfully it's a great time to buy RAM because that stuff is getting cheap. Just a few months ago I was looking at some 3200 megahertz DDR4. I'm going to be getting 32 gigs of it, which is again useful for virtualization where I'm running like half a dozen VMs at once. There was the stuff I'm looking at that was like $210. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull it up. Wow, would you look at that? The price went down even more. So it was originally $210 for the G-Skill Sniper X series, but now it's down to $140. So I'm glad I waited on that. That's really good. So that's what I'm going with as far as RAM goes. I actually bought one of these XPG SX8200 Pros. That's probably not in focus. For my desktop build, which is pretty sweet. It's honestly awesome. It gets 3.5 gigs a second, like gigabytes read speed, which is like ridiculous. It costs a little bit more than like your Intel 660p or whatever, but it's like blazing fast. So that's pretty sweet. I actually have 2 of them now. There's a story behind that. I'll tell you about that in a little bit as to why I have 2. But I have one of these in 1 terabyte sitting in my desktop right now that I'll be using for this new build. I can't boot from it, so I'm using it as like a secondary drive. I can't boot from it because my PC's from 2012, and yeah, that's not going to do NVMe boot. But as soon as I build this new machine, I'll be swapping that guy in there. As far as motherboards goes, the new series of motherboards looks kind of expensive, and I'm not really sure if I need PCI Express 4.0. So I might honestly just go with like the 400 series of motherboards. Honestly, depending on how the prices are and all that stuff, because I don't really know if I need to care about PCI 4, but I'm going to think about that a little bit once the CPUs actually come out. So, and of course I'll take the GPU from my machine I have right now. It's a 1070 Ti 8 gig. It's the ROG Strix. I have the box right there. I'll just swap it out. Like the 1070 Ti is enough for me. I could spend 3 times as much and get like 30% more performance, but yeah, no thank you. So I'll just keep the one that I have, and I think I'll be happy with that for a while. Maybe the new Navi GPUs coming out will tickle my temptations a little bit. Maybe like next year I'll buy a Navi or something like that, but we'll see. I think I'm happy with my 1070 Ti for now. And of course I also have a 4 terabyte disk on the side, my current machine, and I will just swap over. So overall it's going to be a pretty cool rig. It's going to be, I don't know, all the parts might be $1,500 total. So that's going to be pretty cool. As far as cases go, I'm thinking about the Masterbox MB530p, one of those guys. A lot of cases are just too big, honestly. Like, I don't want a DVD drive. I'm not water cooling because I honestly think that's kind of unnecessary. But I might be doing a little bit of RGB stuff because RGB looks cool, although I'm really not, I'm not willing to spend like $20, $30, $40 extra on a RAM that's RGB. So I'm not going to go completely overkill, but point is, I'm building a new machine in probably a month, given that the AMD benchmarks don't suck when the CPUs actually come out. And yeah, expect a video on that. So in other news, about 2 weeks ago I bought a Dell G315 gaming laptop. I really like this laptop because it was like a good middle ground between gaming and professional laptops, because a lot of these gaming laptops are like really big and clunky, and they have all these like jagged edges. Like they really want you to know that it's a gaming laptop, right? The G315 really stuck out to me because it wasn't like a super gaming laptop, but it was kind of more similar to the Inspiron series because it was just designed a little more sleek and professionally, but I saw a little bit of graphics oomph to it, so that really spoke to me, so I actually tried to pick up one of those guys. Problem is, Dell can't get their crap together. I ordered it 2 weeks ago. Actually, this is why I bought the second SSD. I bought a 500 gig SSD for my laptop, so I could upgrade the little tiny 128 gig that comes in it as soon as it arrives. Sure enough, I called up Dell yesterday because the laptop didn't ship, and I was like, what gives? And they were like, yeah, we had to cancel your order because the item's out of stock. And I'm like, what? You can go on Dell's site and the exact item I ordered is in stock, in the exact configuration. They're telling me that it was out of stock. And they canceled it without even telling me. And the item status page still said, confirmed. So I'm talking to them now. It's being a pain in my ass. But I'll probably, point is, I'll probably have a Dell G315 laptop on my desk in a few weeks that I can make a review of. It's actually the 2018 model, the new ones that just came out, I won't be getting, but I'm personally okay with that for a few reasons. Firstly, the new hardware, I don't know so much about the GPUs, but the new like Intel CPUs, the 9000 series, basically the same damn thing as the 8000 series. It's a 6-core Intel Core i7, and the 9000 series are like maybe a smidge bit better. There's a higher clocked version of the 8000 series. So I really don't feel like I'm missing anything as far as the main specs goes. And I honestly don't really like the design of the new ones, the new G315s. They just look too jagged to me. I'm looking for something a little bit more like professional and sleek looking, so that's why I actually would enjoy to get the 2018 series. And with any luck, that laptop will be pretty sweet, so yeah, expect a video on that. So the last thing I wanted to mention was kind of like the future of my channel. Obviously, I don't have like an entire room full of computers like I did 5 or 10 years ago. But I really try to make hardware videos when I can. In fact, I have a work laptop I should probably make a video on, this new desktop build, the laptop build, so hopefully you guys can get a little bit hyped for some new videos of mine. But if you've been looking at my channel, you'll realize I've been making videos of a slightly different type. I do cybersecurity for a living, you know, I enjoy like ethical hacking, that sort of thing, so I enjoy making walkthroughs on like Hack the Box, where like I show you how to hack stuff pretty much. If there's any interest in that, which there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of given my view counts, people don't really seem to care, but I do enjoy making those videos, and for the people that do watch them, it's kind of a direction I also want to take my channel. Not to say that I want to move away from the hardware stuff, just that maybe trying to do a little bit of both at the same time. But who knows, if people really don't like that and it's not going to work, I'll go ahead and I'll split up into 2 channels or something and do one for like cybersecurity videos, the other for hardware videos whenever I can. So yeah, that's about it for this video. I mean, I could go off on all these little technical tangents. Look, I got the Pixel 3 a few months ago to replace my iPhone. I do like it a lot more than my iPhone, by the way. But if there's any like takeaway from this video, it's that thank you all so much. I mean, I haven't said it yet this video, but seriously, like, thank you all so much for being a part of my channel. Especially those of you that like comment and kind of make a community of this. Like, seriously, I've learned a lot from doing this, and it's kind of kickstarted my entire interest in technology. But I'm also not done with YouTube yet. I'm really not. I hopefully do have some videos coming. Not as many as I was making 5 years ago, but some builds, some laptops, all that good stuff. And yeah, so thank you all again, and I do hope to see you in my next videos.